Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. And then become a member and join Patreon and raythax.eth domain name. So we do have a couple things going on today. First off, we do have OMI. OMI only has about 784,000 in volume, so not a ton. We did actually go up a little bit yesterday. We were down to that 00058 area a couple of times, and then obviously shot back up to the 00066 area. I do have a couple of new goals. One is that 200 million goal, which if we stay down here for the next year, which I doubt, I will get up to 200 million. The immediate goal, I mean, by the end of this week, I'll get up to 163 million. It's just another million, really not that much. Unless, of course, we pump 50%, which I don't think we will. But either way, the new goals is by the end of the year, if we are able to go and get that, it would be probably 185 million, give or take. And then by the end of Q3, maybe 170-ish, give or take. I'm still working on the numbers and seeing where I can do it. I'll keep y'all posted, though. But speaking of people and having a decent amount of OMI, we did have Jordan Riz, who was on the, he runs the Around the Ecomiverse thing, and he yesterday had sent me a screenshot where he had just purchased another 13 million OMI. So that is him right there. And he did that just because it's really low right now. So according to him, that's just what he has. We also have someone named Dubs, who had just posted a photo of his cold wallet where he has 178 million OMI. And he mentioned his goal is 250 million at some point. He said will probably take a while. He said after that he'll probably be buying some more Bitcoin, some more Ethereum, whatever. But yeah, that's a lot. Whales do still be buying though. And speaking of OMI, this is a rumor, but BCS Gems Alert had said hashtag Binance will be listing ... And of course, you see a couple of comments over there that say OMI. A lot of people are screenshotting that and they're throwing that around. Be like, is this OMI? Is this OMI? I mean, David did have a interview with Binance like 2 months ago or a month and a half ago, and they didn't necessarily talk about OMI, so I don't know if we would get a Binance listing right now. I think they would want a little bit of utility for OMI beforehand, which I think we get in Q3, so maybe Q3 or Q4 we get that. But again, who knows? We could be wrong. They could just say, heck it, worried about liquidity for the token doesn't have enough, it's barely not even $1 million in volume a day. So it is possible. I don't think we would get it right now, but again, could be possible. Anyway, in conjunction with that, we do have another shout out that we got to do real quick. This is to Doodle Lover and his dog Dex. Hi guys. Meow. So on to the Veve stuff. We have David that says Frank Miller, and this is from David's Instagram. He said Frank Miller, original cover art for the first issue of Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, achieved $2.4 million US at Heritage Auction sales in June of 2022, making it the most expensive mainstream American comic book cover art sold publicly. Frank is also the creator of Elektra, first appeared in Daredevil number 168, January 81. And then he goes on and posts a picture with him that he had happened to get over at New York Comic Con. Shout out to Shaco Jester, who was able to set that up for him. He was really happy about it. I don't think David was the person that bought that $2.4 million issue, but you know, maybe he did, maybe didn't. I don't know. We got to ask him next time he's on the podcast. Speaking of that, there were some people that really weren't 100% happy with the artwork that we had yesterday for the Batman Black and White, which, first off, it grossed, I think, on the course of like 12 hours, you know, by the end of the day, it did gross about $50,000, which I think is pretty decent. But just so you know, that Frank Miller Batman Dark Knight Returns, the Joker is supposed to look like that. Batman is supposed to look like that. It's just supposed to be like 20 or 25 years after the Batman had supposedly retired. And he comes back and fights the Joker. He fights Superman, which is dope. There's part 1 and 2. They're so good. You can go and search it on YouTube. I don't get a commission. It's not sponsored. It is so heckin' good. But anyway, yeah, the good thing about Veve is if you don't like it, you don't have to get it. Speaking of which, we do have a scenario that somebody had messaged me about saying, hey, I really want to take a look at this. Number 41, Frank Miller the Joker, it was for $700, and I was like thinking, and they were saying, hey, what should I do? Based on the floor, I was like, okay, well, for special mints, the formula kind of breaks down. Like if I take a look at the floor, I'm saying, okay, $32. What would the sub 100 be, you know, fairly? A sub 100 would probably get maybe about 3 to 4x that. So maybe like 100, 120, give or take. If you see something around that or below that, I would think it's worth it. And then the sub 50s, you usually put like 1.5 to 2x on top of that. So maybe you get like a 200-ish or etc. However, I will say with special mints, number 69, 420, comment nice and blaze it down below. Or number 41, special mint, the lowest you can get publicly. I would say it's really whoever wants to buy it for. It's whatever someone is willing to pay. So you could look at it like, okay, do you want 20 of them? Because you could sweep the bottom 20 for that $700. Or you could get something that, even if only 2 people want it, you could cause a bidding war and you could, make some profit on it. Or again, you just want it maybe not to sell, but you just think, hey, it's $700. And even though I think, I even told the person, like, there are probably a couple of other things that you could buy for $700. Homie, cough. Sorry. And they had said, yeah, my wallet's getting really, it's getting mad at me. And it's like, okay, same here. I would not blame them if they wanted to go and get that Joker for $700. Why? Because it's a really cool one. It's special from a movie. And is it first appearance? No, but again, it's from a really interesting movie. It's from a very famous book, very famous movie. And it's really iconic. So I wouldn't blame them if they got that. Because again, it's a special number and whatever someone's willing to pay. Brock McBlockchain had posted saying, quick, what number is Street Fighting Man? Just as a tweet. I'm not sure of the context with that, but for the, again, that could potentially be a decent announcement. The announcement today was of Alien, so we have that license, which is really cool. We are getting posters. We're not getting the premium digital collectibles as of yet. But what they did was they said, oh, hey, carbon neutral posters. So they are going and they're really emphasizing the carbon neutral of it. I think they've really seen the backlash that Recur had got from Star Trek, the backlash that we got from, or Sesame Street in general got for Cookie Monster. And it's like, and obviously people just don't know. It's really that lack of education. If they had known the difference between, okay, hey, sometimes NFTs can have a net negative for the environment, which again, I still think is a lot less than, physical items. The stuff on Veve, again, you have 8.5 million NFTs that have been minted on Veve, the Immutable X, and guess what? It had cost the amount of energy as much as it took to run a computer for a year. That's it. So really, by getting that message out there, you really kind of shutting down that argument before people kind of get to try to make theirs. So you have T-Beast OG or at Beast Hood TD over on Twitter saying, damn, I didn't know collectibles need utility. I guess my countless books of sport cards that be sitting in totes that I haven't looked at in 7 years are in a bad way because Upper Deck never added utility. Drat. My collectibles on Veve have utility already. Exactly what I signed up for. And you just see some really cool pics of them outside, in cars, on top of cars. But speaking of utility and lack of utility, we have a quote. It's from the co-founder of Solana, Anatoly Yakovenko, saying, NFTs don't need to have any utility or rights, and my guess is that the successful ones won't. What matters is their cultural relevance, like the first edition of SpiderMan, or even a copy of Windows 1.0, signed by Bill Gates. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth over there. And of course, everyone, me, Dr. Prophet, everyone and their mother that had a Spider-Man NFT and had a picture of it was just shilling it, absolutely quoting like, oh, hey, Spider-Man, you say, don't you? And we were just going about that. So that was really fun. Comment down below if you also partook in the shilling of Spider-Man to Totally. Also, the Uncanny XMen number 64 still only has 212 or so editions redeemed. It currently, by far, is the scarcest standalone comic on the app. The other one was, I would say, Spider-Man 252. Spider-Man 252, which has 1,000 copies. But again, that was split between common, uncommon, et cetera, et cetera. This one only has the comic cover. So it's not like there's a cheaper option, not like there's different artwork. It's only this one if you want it. You're forced to get the common. You're forced to get it. It's super, super scarce. I think it's really undervalued. I don't have one. We do have a little bit of a concern of a whale saying, commenting on one of my videos saying, great video. I was buying between 200 and 400 uncommon comics a week, but my MCP points are being heavily miscalculated both retroactively and daily. I should be getting over 4,500 points daily, and I'm only receiving 2,500. Until MCP is properly calculated, I will hold off buying for MCP purposes, just completing some sets now. So obviously, and I told him, he's not alone. If you were like that, you're thinking, hey, I've done the calculations on this and I'm not getting the right amount, you're not alone. They are currently fixing it. Every now and then I just get like 13,000 points or like 8,000 points, where most of the time I'm usually getting, 600-700 points a day. But eventually they do fix that. Every now and then you just, oh, hey, here's a day that we missed. Here's another X amount of points. So it's not just him. It's not just you guys. It's something that is currently being corrected in the background. So the Veve logo yesterday went from $3,111 to $3,800. And then it's been yo-yoing up back and forth today, but just goes to show you that every now and then, sorry, I love Bonnie Tyler. Every now and then, something just shoots up for almost no reason. I don't want to say almost no reason, but they even talked about it on the Veve feed, saying the logo number 338 had sold, and then that kind of had a cascading effect. But speaking of Veve feed, the secondary market sales for the 23rd, the collectibles were 1,885 and the comics were 1,801. The gem purchases for the 23rd were 76,000 gems. And then we also had the top secondary market comics on Veve: Amazing Spider-Man 122, Uncanny XMen 58, Amazing Spider-Man 121, and Amazing Spider-Man 14. Top selling collectibles in the secondary market were the Earth Day stamp, which makes sense, Frank Miller the Joker, Frank Miller the Batman, and the Earth Day booklet, which happened to be, all four of those were the two drops over the last couple days. So that makes sense. Okay, Amazon. There was a space before that said, is Marvel leaving Veve? Now, why is that? It's because on Marvel.com they had happened to say, actually I can find the quote for you real quick. The quote from Marvel.com says, after 2 May 2023, users will be able to purchase Marvel Comics through Amazon, as well as select Marvel digital comic graphic novels will be available for purchase through Google Play Books, Apple Books, Nook, as well as select digital library services. We're working on more options for digital comics readers, and more information will be available in the coming months. So that's why I think there was a space before that says, is Marvel leaving Veve? No, what's really happening is that the Marvel Comics app, operated by Comixology, will be shutting down on June 2nd. So that's why on May 2nd, hey, they're just coming up with other options before that happens. But where are they going to go? Where are the rest of them? Well, they're going to be on Marvel Unlimited. And Marvel Unlimited, in case you didn't know, are the ones that have been doing some really awesome giveaways for the Veve app. They were the ones that are responsible for the 2 sub 41, not Dr. Doom's Red Skulls over on the Veve app. And they also gave away those Uncanny XMen number 64s, the scarcest on the app. So you have some really, really good times coming, I think, because you have a whole bunch of people that suddenly they can't get comics anymore from the Comixology thing because it's going to Marvel Unlimited. They are being compensated, though. They are going to be able to get all of the digital comic books that they've collected. They will be able to access them there. And then, again, where else can you buy awesome digital comics? Probably going to be a lot of stuff on Veve. But what does the Amazon thing come into this? Well, the Amazon thing is coming into this because of a rumor. Amazon already, again, just because they said you're going to be able to have it on Google Play Books, Apple iBooks, etc., and Amazon as well. But you also have Mr. MC1 that had posted and fed into the feed a little bit saying, does Veve have a deal with Amazon for NFTs with a Mickey Mouse going, what? So yeah, that's really what you have. And they do have a big announcement that they are looking to do. I mean, most likely, again, I think there are rumors that they're having their own NFT service and, maybe their own private chain. I don't know exactly what it is. If you work at Amazon or if you want to come on the podcast, let me know. I don't think those two are connected, at least not yet. I think Veve's got a lot on their plate right now. I don't think an Amazon partnership right now would be good. I think they kind of got to, get their ship in order there. And then after that, maybe go and say, okay, we're, then we can do it. But as right now, again, I don't think it's that. I'm just really excited for all of those Marvel people to come to Marvel Unlimited, having a lot of people saying, oh, hey, have you heard of this Veve app? And then hopefully just getting a new bit of users. So here's one of the other things that I've been getting messages about, which is the Veve Digital Collectibles had posted today about the Platinum Moments update, the poster redemption as of 23 April. We have 165 Donald Duck posters, 185 minis, 207 Dumbos, and 228 Mickey Mouses. Now, based on these, you could actually say, oh, hey, Mickey Mouse is the most popular, followed by Dumbo, just because Dumbo was really scarce. There was really only 1,000 of him, and he was the first appearance, but so was Minnie. Again, you have Dumbo, which had like 1,000-ish collectibles, and you had Minnie, which had 2,200 collectibles, if Mini was only 2 times as popular as Dumbo, they would kind of be going for the same thing, but it's not. My opinion, Mini, super undervalued. Not financial advice. I do not have her. Any extra money I have is going towards OMI. Remember that episode of SpongeBob where Sandy's getting ready for hibernation and SpongeBob's like, Sandy, anytime I already have that I already haven't sold to Mr. Krabs, I'm going to dedicate to you. Every single money that I have that's coming in is going to OMI. You know, not financial advice, just what I'm doing. But I really think that Mini is undervalued. These things in general that are part of the 100th anniversary set, they are all wicked cool. The Donald Duck one, again, not my favorite, but the one that, and the other people are looking at that as well. Only 165 of these are redeemed. And people have been messaging me like, hey, what do I do? Do I turn my potion into something or do I keep the potion? Yes, there are always going to be people that are going to be like, oh, hey, this is the first ever, this is proof that Disney had something with utility. It had a burn. And obviously they've had utility before with the partner statue and a lot of those things with the golden moment saying you could have, what do you call it, a free 3 or 6 or years worth of Disney Plus. They've had the Disney D or the lamp. If you have the lamp, you get the D. Comment down below your favorite puns. And then, but this is the first time they ever had a burn to redeem. You burn a potion in order to get a collectible. So I think that's really cool. Again, it's a coin flip. I think all of these are going to do really well in the future. Those mini ones are so cool though. Now again, we already have all of these as posters. You have the Mickey Mouse, Donald, and Minnie collectible cards. You have those lenticular cards that are, I think those are beautiful because they can act as a poster. They have 3 different images on it. They have 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Oh, that reminds me of a meme. They have 2 in the pink now. And then the only one that doesn't have a poster yet is Dumbo. So I think that might be reason why a lot of people are redeeming him as well. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of hints, the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet is going to be in a comic on, where is it? On 26 April, which is Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you have Drax the Destroyer and the Silver Surfer partner up to defeat Thanos. Now, I don't think this is like really like a Guardians of the Galaxy teaser, because even though Drax the Destroyer is in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Silver Surfer, actually I think he was actually in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for a little bit. But anyway, Silver Surfer, this is really just, I think, a teaser for the Infinity Gauntlet that we'll probably get after we get the Soul Stone, because we do have a bunch of those Infinity Gems on there, which I think will be really cool. I don't think it's a teaser for that, because Thanos, even though he's probably going to come back in Secret Wars, I don't believe that he's going to be in Guardians. I don't think Silver Surfer is going to be in Guardians. They've really, the big guy that they're teasing is Adam Warlock. That's going to be really cool. I can't wait. We should get those Marvel Mighties in about 2 weeks for that. But yeah, and then also that's going to come around the time of Star Wars Day on May 5th. So there's a whole lot of things that is going to happen with that. But either way, the comic I think is really cool. Speaking of comics, the Punisher comic today did really, really well. Sold out in a couple seconds. I got one. I got a rare. Thought it was legit. Veve made about $200,000 on the deal, which is really great, not including the secondary. So Veve's been racking up those funds. They be racking up that dolo. Sorry, I just love that type of stuff. Oh, shout out to Fan Expo for approving me to be press. I will be going to Fan Expo as press, going and trying to interview as many celebrities, as many comic heads, as many people as possible. I'm going to talk about them, about the normal stuff, but of course, Veve as well. Of course, there's a horse. Speaking of applying to cons, we have Mark Hunn over on the Twitter saying, hey, Reverend Alex G or the Dope Brian, hey guys, any updates on Fan Expo for Toronto? I'm a wedding videographer and would love to attend, but I have to know a bit in advance. And Alex G replied, he said, we applied to be an exhibitor. We're just waiting on confirmation. Unfortunately, that is in August. That is the same weekend as Tap's wedding. So everyone comment, hey, Tap's down below. So I'll be going to that. I unfortunately would not be able to make it here. But I'll make it to some other stuff. I promise. I promise. I promise. Promise. So if you're waiting to get something, again, I think in a couple weeks when we have the Marvel Mighty set, we have the Star Wars stuff, when we have maybe another big announcement, you might be able to get some things for a little cheaper. Maybe. I really do want the Hulk. It's cool. It's a first appearance. There's only one of them for right now. There's going to be more other first appearances, but we have someone named Unk who has like 8 of them. Just in a video. I thought that was just a cool video. Just, shout out to him. The Avant-Garde Interactive, which is the Tengo Getsu, I think it's called. They did a video about 23 hours ago, and Okomi, which I think is controlled by Reese, says, "Looking good, team," or "Looking good, fam." And basically that's just kind of a nod to them because they are going to be using OMI in the game. So we do have a little bit of utility there. Oh yeah, I did mention Jordan Riz and around the Okomi-verse before, where Reese was a special guest. And Reese was on there and basically just said that, you know, they're working hard behind the scenes to make a lot of things happen. Reese is very happy that MCP and OUP are working together. So again, because him and Puddin' Cheeks had spent over a year working on that, they wouldn't have gone on and agreed to a change to it unless the change was extraordinarily well. So I'm very excited that he's excited. The dev team said got exceedingly better because of Mitch. So shout out to Mitch for the hiring of that. And My Collectible said that the right thing too was to see how Reese is really doing as a human, and hoping that he can recharge some of his batteries, and hopefully he's back, and hopefully we get him on my channel. Anyway, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say goodbye to Dashie. Bye-bye, Dashie. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow.